Straight out of Compton, original streets. Grew up with the lion, see what the criminals see. Now he a giant and a pivotal key. Got it down to a science, this the visual streets. He came up with Bullet, he came up with Turtle. Live life to the fullest, he put it all in the journal. We dodging them bullets, we jumping them hurdles. It's the hood postman, we in the streets universal.
Hood postman, Professor Melvin Hardy. This is not a glorification or a glamorization. This is an education. You can go anywhere in the world and get a couple of lives, but you come right here to get the truth. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and 15th. Lock the door. Professor Melvin Hardy, Hood Postman. So who I'm here with today?
D'Artagnan Curtis.
D'Artagnan, good to see you, man. How you been, bro?
Oh, fine. Good to see you too, Melvin.
Good, man. Thank you. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you, man. But I had to come in there. For those who's watching and listening, how old are you, D'Artagnan?
69.
69. Oh, so wait a minute, man. You go way back, bro. You were born like in
1954.
54?
November.
Okay, 54. And what particular area did you grow up in?
First place that I lived was on 55th and May.
55th and May.
Yeah, that's where my great grandmother stayed when I was first born.
And what year was that? 54.
54.
And how long did you stay there?
Probably like about 3 years. Then we gravitated. We moved to 87th and Hooper.
87th and Hooper.
Yeah.
And what year was that?
That had to be like 61, 62.
61 and 62. So at that time, it was just, black people doing what black people, because at that time, black people really functioned together.
Right.
We lived together, we ate together, we helped one another out. We were really into each other doing it. Because we had to. It was the 60s, it was before the Civil Rights Act, which was transferred to 64, 65. And Martin Luther King was a youngster at that time,
Absolutely.
And Malcolm X was also a youngster. So, okay, I get it. What schools did you attend as you begin to grow?
Main Street Elementary, Russell Elementary, Woodcrest Elementary, Century Park, and those are the elementary schools I attended. Then I went to Henry Clay, Horace Mann, Mount Vernon.
Oh, you had your fair share of schools.
Yeah.
I
wasn't focused.
Okay. At what point did you begin to notice the paradigm shift? Because there was that middle part of the 60s where we were just being black and doing it, what youngsters did. But then right about 68, 69, there was a paradigm shift.
Absolutely.
What do you remember about the paradigm shift? Because there was Raymond Washington on the east side, and then I think about 70, 71, there became Melvin Hardy's, the Tookies, the Sweetbags, the Pooky. Well, I don't know if Pooky was around at that point.
Yes.
But the older guys like O'Neal Brown and so on and so forth. You actually went to school with O'Neal Brown, right?
Yes, went to Century Park. O'Neal was a couple of years younger.
A couple of years younger, so that made him 67.
I know his whole family.
Okay.
He's about 67.
So coming back to the paradigm shift, what year did you take notice of these guys that was beginning to come together, form together, and they start acting in a way that maybe was a little bit peculiar? Because now you got guys wearing these big brim hats, these waistline leather jackets. They got on the biscuits, they got on the Levi's, they got on the khakis, and their behavior is a little off versus what you've seen from the Black Panthers.
I would say about 71, because like in the 60s, I was a Panther sympathizer. I had my Army jacket and my gloves. I got in trouble in school for Black Power. I was becoming like I would say a little badass kid. Not really like conforming to what my parents wanted me to do, trying to make a name for myself. But yeah, I was very influenced by the Panthers.
You had a revolutionary mindset at that time.
Trying to be.
Okay, got it.
Then with a name like D'Artagnan, you know, you can't just blend in and be normal. So, you know, I was trying to live up to that name, you know, trying to be bold, gallant, and dashing, which got my ass in a lot of trouble.
How did you get the name D'Artagnan?
Well, my mother, when she was attending UCLA, she read all 28 novels by Alexandre Dumas, and she liked the name D'Artagnan.
Interesting. You know, there was a time period when a lot of black people was going to UCLA, USC, and those institutions of higher learning, even up north where they was going to Berkeley, whether it was going to Stanford, and they was, you know, that's what a lot of people don't realize, that these guys actually had PhD degrees, master's degrees, bachelor's degrees. They wasn't just street guys.
Right.
They was strategically set up, and they understood the dynamics that they was up against. But okay, coming back, so you say 70, 71, right?
Yes.
What school were you at?
71, I was in Washington.
Washington.
Because my parents, they bought a house. We moved on 108th and 7 blocks west of Dinker in 1963.
Uh-huh.
So I spent most of my childhood in the hundreds.
In hundreds. So
28 years. I lived over there.
So that would be the 111s, what we call the 111s and the 113 blocks.
11 fives.
Okay, and all those guys. At what point did you notice that coming together?
Well, I had 2 friends. Well, I had one good friend, rest in peace, Conrad Williams. They used to live on 78th and Zamora, I think. And what happened was they moved over on 109th and Hobart. And they were good friends with Raymond Washington. So they would come over with Raymond and a bunch of Eastside people would come over. And they would visit Conrad and Eric. So that was my first introduction. I never met Raymond, but I seen him before. Never talked to Raymond. But that was my knowledge of him coming on to the East Side. I mean to the West Side.
Okay. You also knew, did Barefoot Pooky stay on the same block with you?
Barefoot Pooky lived 1 block from my grandmother.
What was Pooky like at that such an early age?
He was just a kid, man. We all, used to shoot pellet rifles, and he was just a very intelligent kid. I knew his whole family, the Young family. We used to always joke while telling somebody else, like Mrs. Young, she was the Miss Parker of that day because she was fine.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Hey, Miss Young. Mrs. Young. Yeah. So I've been knowing this whole family since I was like 12 years old.
How old was Pooky at that time?
He's 2 years younger than me. So what would happen when I would be ditching school, like he would always be with like people I ran with, their little brothers. So basically Michael Harrison, AC Harrison, AC, he would be with his brother. So every time I ditched somewhere, going over here, I know Michael. It was just, he would always be associated with people that I associated with. And, he was like family because I've known him, like I say, since I was 12 years old.
At what point did you notice that he wasn't wearing any shoes? Was that just a thing of his, or did he just want to be different, or?
No, he started doing that when he started studying martial arts. I think he was studying Taekwondo, which is basically a lot of kicks. So, it would be nothing to see Pooky with a suit. First, he used to just have on a suit and some socks. He suited, but down at his feet, and he had socks on. Then eventually, he just stopped wearing socks. I guess as the calluses built up, that was like, I guess he would be about like 14, 15.
Did you ever witness him using the arts or happen to display what he knew, or?
I've seen him practicing a lot. Like, he had some real powerful Taekwondo kicks, and then he was like about 6'3", 6'4". So, he was very athletic.
So there was also in that community, in that same area, I guess Melvin Hardy.
Yep.
What was Melvin Hardy like?
Oh, Melvin Hardy, he was a very studious guy, and he had moved over from East Side because he was on 113. He was a little, like, I think, probably like a year under me because he went to school with my sister. Oh, he was a cool guy. Like, never had no problems with Melvin. We were always together in one form or another. Like, we saw hang out at the Rio Theater on Imperial and Western. That was like, the place to be on Sundays.
So a lot of people credit Melvin Hardy as like the real guy for the West Side. I mean, everybody it went to Tookie, but when you really delve into the background of it, there's Melvin. That Melvin Hardy name seems to come up all the time.
He's the originator of the blocks. And in my opinion, that's who started the blocks. He was 113.
Okay, the originator.
Tookie
Okay.
was original West Side. See, like everyone would be like would be over here, like, from everybody. See, I came in contact with all these guys when I went to Horace Mann. So when I got kicked out of Henry Clay, so I knew Donald Archie, and, Ricardo Sam, Erskine Jones. So I knew all these guys before they were Crips. So because we were always like I knew them athletically because we played football and we ran track. So that was my introduction to those individuals.
So Donald Archie, Erskine Jones, all these guys are really, Melvin Hardy became the inner circle of the West Side, along with Pooky, Melvin Farmer,
Keith, and Henderson brothers,
O'Neal Brown, and so on and so forth. What was Erskine and Donald Archie? Who were they?
Oh, that was iconic. Whoop your ass type of guy. Like Donald was always a big dude, man. Like at 15 years old, Donald was like 6'2", 220. So Donald was having no problem with nobody. Donald would smash you, buddy. So it's an intimidation, fear, intimidation factor right there going on. So it's like Donald never had no problems with nobody, man. Like,
okay,
it just wasn't happening.
Amazing. What point did you meet Buddha?
Oh man, I met Buddha when I was like 14, 15 years old. Like he lived like 2 blocks away from me.
And was there any situations that you can relate to that maybe you could talk about Buddha a little bit? Because he left us so quick. I think he got killed. What is it? 70?
Michael Harrison, AC's brother, shot him. They had an argument over I believe, I was told they had an argument over a cassette. And Michael shot him over on a butt line and 113.
And that was what, 74, 75? Maybe even older, younger than that.
Probably it might have been
73?
Yeah, 73, 74.
Interesting. And I heard so much about him because he was like a fearless dude, you know what I mean? And then they credited him for the blue rag.
Right. He looked like a Buddha, he was like short with slant eyes, and that's how they got the name Buddha.
I wonder who gave him that name. Probably Tookie or somebody, because he called him Mr. Buddha.
I think it was somebody. I think it might have been Monkey.
Monkey Man?
Yeah.
Did you know Monkey Man?
Yeah, I knew Monkey Man.
What was he like?
He was cool. He was a scrapper, man. I think he had like I can't remember the name of the illness that he had, but he had like a humpback. And he like a humpback. And always on this leather coat, short dude, like, hey, Monkey Man was cool.
I seen him, Monkey Man, Tookie, and Wally Gator one time. Their car broke down in front of my house when I was a young kid. Man, it was the most hilarious thing I ever seen in my life. But anyway, that was funny. So you knew all these guys, and then when you got to Washington High, you said you got to Washington High, is when you saw the paradigm. What was Washington High preparatory school? Well, what was it like?
You had the athletes, and you had the hustlers, and you had, that's when you had dudes that was always like, like disruptive type stuff, and then like when the Crips started, everybody like just gravitated to that.
And that was pretty much like, I know a lot for some reason, I think in most schools of Crips, or whether they was Crips or Pyrus or Bloods, they always gravitated to the bleachers.
Yeah, because that'd be out there, smoke weed. Back then, huffing nail polish and spot remover. They was doing all that shit, smoking sherm.
Old Neil Brown told me you was king of the school. One of the schools.
No, he was just talking. It was God's story. That it's funny that you say that because when I saw him at Pooky's funeral, that's what he said. Yeah, man, I remember when you was king of Century Park. And we were laughing, man.
Funny. But during those days, man, a lot of guys, I mean, quite different from today. They did a lot of fighting, bro.
Yeah, that's absolutely like I had weights and we had boxing gloves. So Monday through Thursday, we lifting weights and boxing. Then Friday we go to the party and we get it cracking. So
man, that's interesting. Did you actually hang out at Jesse Owens Park or any?
Yeah, Jesse Owens, St. Andrews, Holly Park. Those were my stomping grounds back in the day.
You say you knew Ricardo Sims, Donald Archie, Erskine Jones.
Yeah. Ricardo Sims is my oldest son's godfather.
And you said, what about Mumu?
Mumu? Okay, that's Erskine Jones' cousin.
Mumu was Erskine Jones' cousin.
Erskine Jones' cousin. And his cousin, Valencia, used to go with Bud. So that's my oldest son's godfather.
So a lot of these guys were more connected than they was apart. It just, I guess maybe throughout the years, and it's just my perspective on it. I think that when a lot of guys start going to jail, that's when things started to get divided up.
Absolutely.
And
that's when it became, that's when they started, that's when the division came and they started, I guess, like the sect, the different sects started. From originating from the east side to the west side, and block and the different sets. That's my opinion.
Right. What do you know about what happened at the Palladium?
I had several friends that were at the Palladium, and from my understanding, they took a coat from this individual, and the individual told one of his buddies that some people took his coat. So the guy that he told was Robert Brooks Ballou. He was a son of a prominent attorney in LA. So Robert ran over and just started socking on people, from what I was told. And it was like groups of Crips, like in, packs, packs of 5 to 10 here, there, and just looked over, saw what was going on, and just grabbed him and handled their business.
And that was that. You said you knew Bonnie also, right?
Oh, Bonnie is my sister's best friend.
Really? And that's Tookie's wife.
Yes.
What was she like?
Oh, vivacious, bubbly, energetic. Hey, no nonsense. She get busy. Hey, like you say, hey, she was a hand goddess.
She's a hand goddess.
Yeah, she's a hand goddess. Yeah.
And she married Tookie.
Yes, sir.
Man, lock the door.
Cali Miners, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a pro.